We begin tonight with a dispute over videotapes. I'm Marie Arcega-Dunn.
And I'm David Rose. Call it the tale of the tapes. Occupy protesters have their videos of what happened during Monday's protest at the Port of Seattle. Now the Seattle Police Department has released its own.
They say it shows officers were in danger because of a small number of protesters who wanted to start trouble. James Lynch has seen both videos, and he also talked to police and protesters. He joins us now live from the Port of Seattle. James?
Maria, Seattle police say they released their video because they wanted the public to have an accurate and fair description of what happened during the port protests here on Monday that they say, as you said, were among the most violent that they've seen here since the WTO riots. But protesters say that they were the victims. So take a look at both videos and let the public be the judge. The only thing upon which both sides can agree is that there was a hostile confrontation between police and protesters. This video was shot by protesters. They say it shows police using unnecessary force on protesters who were mostly peaceful. Tear gas and mace, they say, and officers who went too far.
This was a peaceful protest, and they went beyond that today.
That is Art Mitchell. We'll get back to him in a moment, but first... This is video that police shot near Terminal 18. Watch closely, and you can see what police say is a brick being thrown at officers. Now, there it is again. And then there, what is clearly a road flare being thrown at officers from someone in the crowd. Now, police say this smoke canister is not one of theirs, but one that was tossed at officers by protesters, along with pieces of sharpened rebar and bags of paint. This officer, they say, was actually hit by one of those bags. Police say the danger in which officers found themselves that night cannot be overstated.
In different demonstrations all the way back to WTO, we have had people who've thrown things at the police, but not this number, not bricks, not sharpened rebar, not things that would kill people.
The whole world is watching!
Police arrested 11 people that night and say they will arrest more if those seen on video throwing things can be identified. Meanwhile, an SPD internal investigation is underway into the alleged beating of Methodist minister John Hellmeyer. He's the tall guy there in the dark cap. He says police pulled him to the ground and roughed him up.
This side of my face is on the ground, and somebody starts punching me in the face.
Hellmeyer has a black eye and scrapes on his face. He says what he wants most is for police to change the way they handle the public.
They think that what needs to happen is a change in culture in the police, from this us versus them thing to a more community policing model. And we need some retraining in how crowd control is handled.
Now let's take another look at Art Mitchell. He was caught on SPD video and wasn't quite as peaceful as he appeared the first time we talked to him. Mayor Mike McGinn says enough is enough.
I believe the Occupy protests have gotten too violent. It's not all the protesters by any means, but there are some protesters who are being intentionally provocative towards the police because they want to create the conflict that gets the news coverage. And that's not helping the situation.
Says that he does in fact agree with the mayor that there are some bad actors among the Occupy protesters, but he says that he believes that there are also bad actors on the police department. He believes that both sides need to police themselves so these protests that don't appear to be going away anytime soon can proceed in a more peaceful manner. Live tonight at the Port of Seattle, James Lynch, Q13, Fox News.